The door opened slowly. Nobody was supposed to be home. Amara froze. Her phone was on the other side of the room. She couldn't scream. She couldn't move. The person standing in her doorway was not a stranger. That was the worst part. His name was Kevin, her stepbrother. He was smiling. Not the kind of smile that says, "Hey, I just got home." No, this was a different kind of smile. The kind that makes your skin crawl. The kind that tells you something has been planned. Amara had seen that smile before. She had ignored it before. She had told herself she was imagining things. She was not imagining things. Kevin stepped inside her room. He closed the door behind him, slowly, like he had all the time in the world. "What do they do?" he asked, like nothing was wrong. Amara's hands were shaking, her mouth was dry. She wanted to say, "Get out." She wanted to shout, but her voice had disappeared somewhere deep inside her chest. This was the night she had been dreading for 6 months. This was the night she had prayed would never come. It came, but what happened next? Nobody saw coming, not even Kevin. Rewind to 8 months earlier. Amara was happy. She had a small apartment, a good job, and a man who loved her. Life was not perfect, but it was hers. Then Mama Rose called. "Kevin needs somewhere to stay. Just 3 months. He's your brother." Kevin was not her brother. He was her stepfather's son from another woman. They had grown up in different houses. They barely knew each other. But Mama Rose had a way of making guilt feel like love. So Amara said yes. Kevin arrived with 2 bags and a big smile. He was tall, well-dressed, and very charming. He spoke well. He made jokes. He cooked sometimes. For the first 2 weeks, everything was fine. "See, you are worried for nothing," David told her. Amara laughed. She agreed. She should not have agreed. Because on the 3rd week, Kevin did something small. So small, Amara almost missed it. He stood in the bathroom doorway one morning while she was brushing her teeth and stared at her. Just stared. "Kevin?" He blinked, smiled. "Sorry, I was just thinking." He walked away, but the air in the room felt different after that. Something had shifted, and it would never shift back. Nobody tells you how dangerous little things are. It never starts with something big. It starts with a look, then a comment, then a touch that lasts 1 second too long. Kevin started doing little things. He would sit too close when they watched TV. When Amara stood up, his eyes would follow her across the room. He started calling her babe by mistake, then laughing it off. "Haha, sorry, I call everyone that." He started coming home late and knocking on her door. "I can't sleep, let's talk." At first, Amara would sit with him for a few minutes. She thought she was being kind. She was being stupid, her words, not ours. One night, he touched her hand while they were talking. She pulled away. He said nothing, but his jaw tightened. She told David about it on the phone. "Babe, you are reading too much into it," David said. She told herself David was probably right. She texted Mama Rose. Mama Rose called back angry. "Kevin said you've been acting cold to him. You're always doing this. You never accept family." Amara stared at her phone. Kevin had already reported her. Before she could even finish explaining, he had already set the narrative. That was when she understood who she was really dealing with. Kevin was not just creepy. Kevin was calculated. Amara made rules. She told herself, boundaries will fix this. Rules will protect her. Rule 1, her bedroom door stays locked. Always. Rule 2, no late night conversations. She goes to her room at 9 p.m. Rule 3, she is never alone in the house with Kevin if she can help it. The rules worked for about 2 weeks. Then Kevin started bending them. He got a copy of the spare key from the hook by the door. She didn't even know he knew where it was. She found out when he walked into the kitchen one morning with the spare key in his hand. "Why do you have that?" "In case of emergency now," he said, smiling. She took it back. He did not fight her. He just smiled that smile. She started sleeping with her phone under her pillow. She downloaded a lock app. She moved the extra key somewhere hidden. Meanwhile, to the outside world, Kevin was a perfect gentleman. When David visited, Kevin was respectful and funny. David liked him. That was the most painful part. "Your brother is actually a cool guy," David said one Sunday. Amara looked at Kevin. Kevin looked back at her. His face said, "See, nobody will believe you." He didn't say it with words, but she heard it loud and clear. And the worst part, he was right.
3 months became 5 months. Kevin had not left. Every time Amara brought it up, Mama Rose had a new excuse. He just got a job interview. He's saving money. You know how this city is. Amara was exhausted. Her peace was gone. She couldn't relax in her own house. She started spending more time at David's place just to breathe. But one Friday night, David traveled for work. Amara came home late from the office. She thought Kevin would be out. He usually went out on Fridays. He was not out. He was sitting in the living room, waiting. He had cooked her favorite meal. "Sit down, make we eat together. I know you're tired." Something in Amara's stomach twisted, but she was hungry, and she told herself, "Stop being paranoid. You can't eat with your stepbrother." She sat. They ate. Kevin was normal, funny even. She started to relax. Then he said it, quietly, calmly, like it was a normal thing to say. "Amara, I think you know how I feel about you." She put her fork down. "Kevin, I'm not your real brother. We don't share blood. There's nothing wrong." "Stop!" He stopped. He looked at her. His eyes were not angry. They were patient. That patience scared her more than anger would have. He was not going away, and he had just made that very, very clear. The next morning, Amara called Uncle Femi. He was her late father's younger brother, the only person in the family who had always been straight with her. She told him everything. The staring, the comments, the night before. Uncle Femi was quiet for a long time. "Pack a bag," he finally said. "Come and stay with me." "But it's my apartment." "Amara, pack a bag." She packed. She was ready to leave when Kevin appeared in the hallway. He looked at her bag. He looked at her face. He didn't say anything dramatic. He just nodded slowly. "You are making a mistake," he said quietly. "Excuse me?" "When you leave like this, people will think something happened. Mama Rose will hear. It will become a story. And you know how stories go in this family." He was threatening her with the narrative, with reputation, with family politics. Amara looked at him for 5 full seconds. Then she picked up her bag and walked out. She moved into Uncle Femi's place that same day. David was confused. She didn't tell him everything yet. She wasn't ready. Uncle Femi called Mama Rose. The conversation did not go well. Mama Rose said Kevin told her Amara had been behaving strangely, that she was stressed from work, that she overreacted to innocent things. "He's already talking," Uncle Femi warned her. The battle for the truth had officially begun, and Kevin had a head start. Within 1 week, the family version of the story was already set. Kevin's version. Amara was the dramatic one. Amara was the ungrateful one. Amara had embarrassed Kevin by living like that. Nobody asked her side. David finally heard whispers from family members and called her, confused. "What's happening? Why did you leave your apartment?" Kevin said, "What did Kevin say?" "He said you've been acting strange, that you've been paranoid. He's worried about you." Amara felt something cold move through her body. Kevin had gone to David first. He had planted the seed, "She is unstable," so that when she told the truth, it would sound like madness. She told David everything. Everything. David was quiet. "So, did he actually touch you?" "No, but did he threaten you directly?" "Not with words, but his whole, 'Amara, I believe you, but what do I tell people? There's no proof.'" She cried that night. Not because David didn't believe her. He did, mostly. But because she understood. This world is built for the Kevins. The charming ones. The ones who never leave fingerprints. Uncle Femi sat with her. The truth doesn't need to fight. It just needs time. She wanted to believe him. But time was running out because Kevin had just done something nobody expected. Kevin moved out of the apartment on his own with no drama. He packed quietly and found a new place within 2 weeks. Everyone celebrated. "See, he is not a bad person. He just needed time to get on his feet," Mama Rose said. Amara should have been relieved. She was not. Because Kevin moving out felt like strategy, not defeat. Like a chess player moving a piece back to strike from a better angle. She was right. 3 weeks after he moved out, Kevin sent her a message. Just one line. "I hope you're happy now." She didn't reply. Then he sent a photo. An old photo from a family gathering. Nothing inappropriate, but the message below it said, "I still think about you." She screenshotted everything and sent it to Uncle Femi. Then she blocked him. But the damage was not done. Kevin had started talking to David's friends, casual conversations, slowly painting Amara as someone with issues, someone who imagines things.
He never said it directly. He just dropped it into conversations like salt into soup. Amara started noticing the shift in how some people spoke to her, the slight hesitation, the raised eyebrows. "You seem stressed lately," a mutual friend told her. Kevin wasn't in the house anymore, but somehow he was still everywhere. Then one evening, David came to her with an expression she had never seen on his face before.
David had found the messages, not just the ones Amara had shown him. Kevin had sent David screenshots of a conversation, but it was edited, cut, rearranged. In Kevin's version, Amara had been flirting with him. She had started it. She had led him on. The screenshots looked real. They were not real, but they looked real. David's face was stone. "Explain this." "Those are fake. Kevin edited." "Why would he do that, Amara?" "Because he's lying. Because that's what he does." "You told me he made you uncomfortable. Now I'm seeing messages where you called him." "David, those are not real." The argument was ugly. David left. He didn't break up with her, but he left. And that space between them was exactly what Kevin had wanted. Amara sat on the floor of Uncle Femi's living room and stared at nothing. Uncle Femi made 2 calls that night. He called a tech person he knew, someone who could analyze the screenshots and prove they were edited. It took 4 days. The report came back. The metadata didn't match. The screenshot had been altered. Uncle Femi forwarded the report to David. David called Amara and cried on the phone. "I'm sorry. I should have believed you." She didn't say it's fine, because it wasn't fine. Something had broken. She could feel it. Kevin was exposed. The family now knew the truth. But some things, once cracked, don't fully heal. And that was the real lesson. Kevin denied everything, even with the proof. He called it a misunderstanding. He said he was just joking. He said Amara was too sensitive. Mama Rose said, "Let's not destroy the family over this." David and Amara stayed together, but it was different. Trust, once shaken, becomes a new kind of quiet. Kevin faced no real consequence. He moved on, started showing up at family events like nothing happened, smiling, charming, well-dressed. Some relatives believed Amara, some didn't. Some said these things happen in families. That sentence alone should anger you. Amara moved to a new city 6 months later. New job, new beginning. She didn't tell everyone why she left. Some things are too heavy to keep explaining. Uncle Femi called her every Sunday. That was enough. David visited twice, then once, then not at all. She was alone, but she was safe. And for the first time in a long time, she could breathe inside her own 4 walls. The moral, raw and real. Some predators wear family names. The most dangerous people in your life are sometimes the ones you were told to trust. Not every threat comes from outside your door. Sometimes it knocks with a smile and a family title. Believe people when they tell you something is wrong, even when there are no bruises to show. And if nobody believes you, leave anyway. Your safety is not a debate. Protect your peace, even from family.